I'm Megan Karande and I'm class of 2013. My first semester here I went without taking an art class, and I totally really felt that something was completely missing, and I realized that art was more than a hobby for me, but something that was really integral to my academic growth. This summer I visited my grandfather, who's ailing, and I probably saw him for what's the last time. And so this semester I've been making work about that experience, because as tragic as it was also really visually interesting, and I was sort of really interested in the visual and visceral experience of grief. It was so tragic, right, to see someone sort of in the midst of passing away, but then the quality of light was so beautiful, and then sort of his skin against sort of the pastel fabrics of the hospital sheets was just, I don't know, there was something so striking. And I passed, a lot of the time was spent just at his bedside, and I passed a lot of time just doing sketches of his face and hands and sort of the room. I also really liked looking at a lot of the patterns of the bed sheets and sort of around it, and I'm really interested in the way that sort of patterns can organize space. I really like the way the pattern shows not only the presence of my hand, but also shows a passing of time. And it was a pattern that I would also draw a lot when I was there. And so the book is a series of these patterns, and then it's going to culminate in an image of my grandfather.
I'm Laura Preston and I'm a junior. I've always done visual arts. It's just been something that I've always done. My grandmother's an artist, and so it's just something I grew up doing for pretty much my entire life. I sat in a course when I was a senior in high school at Princeton. I came over for the weekend, and it was a painting class. And I just remember feeling really welcomed by the department. Printmaking is so kind of absolute in a way. It's very hard to alter a print. You have to plan out the entire image in your head, and make sure you know which form is going on which block, and which colors are printed first. And so you really have to have a very clear idea of the image in your head before you make it. I have always been really interested in the intersections between art and literature, and most of my art tends to be very narrative. Stories can have very specific shapes. A narrative can be a circle, or it can be parabolic, or it can be a branching tree. While what I'm making is sort of inspired by the sort of urban landscape of the subway systems, in a sort of broader sense it's about the shape of narrative itself, and how you can build a narrative that might be perhaps more loyal to reality than a narrative that is just totally linear.